There's something uniquely devastating about being called a disappointment by the very person you built your life around. It cuts deeper than any insult could. It's not just the word itself, it's the way she said it. Calm. Final. As if she'd been waiting years for the right moment to let it slip out. My wife, Clara, didn't raise her voice. She didn't cry. She just looked at me across the kitchen table one evening and said, "You're the biggest disappointment of my life." Then, without missing a beat, she went back to scrolling through her phone, like she'd just commented on the weather. The silence after that felt endless. I sat there, frozen, every compromise and late night and missed weekend crashing down on me all at once. I wanted to defend myself, to remind her of everything I'd done for us, but how do you argue with someone who's already stopped caring enough to listen? The sting wasn't in her words, it was in her indifference. My hurt didn't even register to her. That night, we went to bed in silence. She turned away, and for the first time, I didn't reach for her. Something in me quietly broke, a realization settling in that maybe I'd been clinging to something long gone. The next morning was eerily normal. The world looked the same, but it felt different. Clara was dressed for work, sipping her coffee like nothing had happened. She looked at me and said, "Don't forget to pick up milk," as if the night before had never occurred. No apology, no pause, just the same routine. Somehow, that casual dismissal hurt more than her words. It proved that my pain didn't matter to her at all. I listened to her heels click down the hallway, each step sounding like the slow countdown to the end of our marriage. I went through the motions of my day, pretending everything was fine, but inside I was empty. I kept replaying everything, every small argument, every moment she rolled her eyes when I tried to talk about dreams, every dinner that dissolved into silence. And I realized something unbearable. She hadn't said those words out of anger. She meant them. She truly believed them. That night, I walked through our home and it felt unfamiliar. The framed photos of better days, the wedding picture still hanging on the wall, the couch where we used to fall asleep together. It all seemed like relics from a life that no longer belonged to me. Something inside me shifted, not in anger, but in clarity. I finally saw that staying would only make the wound deeper. She had already decided I was a disappointment, and maybe it was time I stopped fighting that label and started living for myself instead. Before sunrise the next morning, I woke to a silence that felt like an ending. The house seemed almost too still, as if it knew what was coming. I gathered my things, only the essentials, the few things that had been mine long before her. When I zipped the last bag, my eyes fell on our wedding photo. We looked so young, so certain that forever was real. I took it off the wall, not to save it, but to stop pretending that the people in that picture still existed. When Clara came downstairs, she froze in the doorway. "What are you doing?" she asked, her voice steady but her eyes showing a crack of fear I hadn't seen in ages. "I'm giving you what you wanted," I said quietly. "You think I'm a disappointment? Then let me disappoint you properly, by leaving." She gave a small, bitter laugh, trying to act unaffected, but her shaking hands gave her away. "You're being dramatic," she said. That almost made me smile. For years, I'd been the calm one, the patient one, the man who stayed no matter how cold things became. And now that I was finally leaving, she noticed the warmth fading. I didn't yell. I didn't look back. I just picked up my bags and walked out. The morning air bit at my skin, but it felt clean, honest. For the first time in years, I wasn't carrying the burden of trying to be enough for someone who had already decided I wasn't. As I shut the door behind me, it hit me. Maybe being a disappointment isn't a failure. Maybe it's the first step toward finally becoming who I was meant to be.